In a forgotten era, driven by insatiable greed, Elias, a renowned grave robber, obsessed over ancient legends. His eyes gleamed with avarice as he traced the forgotten path to a fabled tomb, rumored to hold treasures beyond imagination, but also whispered to be cursed. After weeks of relentless searching, Elias finally unearthed the tomb's hidden entrance. A chill permeated the air, a silent warning ignored by his covetous heart. He pushed aside the heavy, moss-covered stone, stepping into the unknown. Deep within the crypt, Elias discovered a sarcophagus of incredible craftsmanship. Ornate carvings depicted ancient rituals and warnings, but his gaze was fixed solely on the promise of untold riches concealed within the stone. Beneath the skeletal remains of an ancient ruler, Elias found not gold, but a single, strangely pulsating amulet. Its silver was tarnished, yet it radiated an unsettling energy. He saw not danger, but immense power and value. As Elias snatched the amulet, a cold tremor ran through the tomb. He felt a sudden, inexplicable dread, but dismissed it as the thrill of his conquest. Unaware, he had awakened a dormant power, sealing his own grim fate. Days turned into weeks. Elias found no peace. His newfound wealth brought no joy. Instead, a string of inexplicable misfortunes began to plague him, like a shadow clinging to his every step. Soon, the curse extended beyond him. His beloved child, once vibrant, fell gravely ill, baffling all healers. Elias felt a cold dread forming, a terrible suspicion that his actions were now claiming innocent lives. Terrified, Elias attempted to rid himself of the cursed amulet, burying it in a remote, desolate patch of land. He hoped to sever the connection, to escape the creeping doom that now enveloped his family. Yet, the curse persisted, silently shaping the destinies of his descendants. Generation after generation, Elias's family was marked by inexplicable sorrow, misfortune, and premature deaths, a dark stain on their lineage. Their family history became a tapestry of tragedy, riddled with unexplained accidents, lost loves, and shattered dreams. They lived under a perpetual cloud, unaware of the ancient sin that bound them. Centuries later, Lily, a young woman from Elias's cursed line, found herself drawn to her family's obscure past. She spent hours sifting through dusty heirlooms, feeling an unspoken melancholy in their stories. Deep within a forgotten chest, she discovered a leather-bound journal, its pages brittle with age. It was Elias's journal, detailing his fateful expedition and the amulet he stole, his remorse seeping from every word. As Lily read, a chill snaked down her spine. The journal spoke of a family affliction that began the day the amulet was taken. The cryptic entries hinted at a spectral guardian and an unbreakable bond. The truth unveiled itself: her family's endless misfortune was no coincidence, but a direct consequence of her ancestors' sacrilege. The ancient curse was real, a living entity feeding on their suffering. With her newfound knowledge, the curse's presence grew palpable. Shadows seemed to dance in the corners of her vision, and whispers echoed in her empty house, warnings from an unseen entity. Objects moved on their own, cold drafts swept through closed rooms, and her dreams were plagued by visions of Elias and a spectral guardian. The curse was no longer a distant story, it was a living nightmare in her home. Lily knew she couldn't simply endure it. She felt an ancestral burden and a burning resolve to face it. Armed with Elias's journal, she decided to retrace his steps, seeking the ancient tomb. The journal contained a crudely drawn map, charting Elias's journey to the tomb. It was a perilous route, through dense forests and forgotten trails, but Lily's determination was unwavering. Days later, Lily found herself deep in the ancient forest, following the aged map. The air was thick with mist, and every creaking branch seemed to whisper warnings of the impending confrontation. Finally, she stood before the tomb, its entrance now more forbidding than ever. A sense of overwhelming despair emanated from the crumbling stones, a silent testament to the centuries of suffering. With a deep breath, Lily pushed open the heavy stone door, revealing the chilling darkness within. The tomb welcomed her not with open arms, but with the suffocating weight of its ancient curse. Inside, the air was still and heavy. The same ornate sarcophagus stood in the center, a silent monument to Elias's transgression. Strange, ethereal light pulsed from the walls, revealing unsettling symbols. Lily stood before the sarcophagus, the focal point of her family's doom. A spectral chill enveloped her, a distinct feeling of being watched, judged by unseen eyes. Suddenly, a chilling presence materialized before her. A spectral figure, ancient and sorrowful, coalesced from the shadows, its luminous eyes fixed on Lily. It was the ancestral guardian. The spectral guardian, the ancestor, raised a translucent hand, not in aggression, but in a gesture of profound sorrow and warning. Its silent gaze communicated centuries of pain and an unfulfilled duty. Lily, overwhelmed by the guardian's presence, pleaded for understanding, for mercy. She explained her family's suffering, a never-ending cycle of sorrow, all stemming from one man's avarice. The guardian, the ancestor, seemed to listen, its ancient eyes reflecting a deep, inherited grief. It was the protector of the tomb, bound by a vow to ensure the balance of life and death, now disturbed. Lily remembered a faint inscription in Elias's journal, a hint about atonement. It spoke of returning what was taken, not just to the tomb, but to the earth from which it was stolen. With renewed purpose, Lily rushed back to the desolate spot where Elias had buried the amulet. The curse's grip was tight, but a sliver of hope flickered within her. The only way out was to face it. Her fingers, numb from the cold and effort, finally grazed against cold metal. She pulled the amulet from the earth, its familiar, unsettling pulse now stronger, almost a heartbeat in her trembling hand. Returning to the tomb, Lily held the amulet before the ancestor. Its spectral form hovered, observing her intently. A moment of profound silence, a silent pact, hung in the frigid air. With a heavy heart, Lily placed the amulet back into its rightful place within the sarcophagus. As it settled, a faint tremor shook the tomb, and the eerie glow on the walls intensified briefly. As the amulet settled, the oppressive atmosphere of the tomb began to lift. The glowing symbols on the walls slowly faded, replaced by a profound, ancient peace. The guardian's presence softened. The ancestor, the spectral guardian, offered a subtle, grateful bow, its form becoming more translucent. Its duty was fulfilled, the balance restored. It was a silent acknowledgement of Lily's sacrifice. Lily watched as the guardian dissolved into the ancient stone, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek. It was an ending, and a beginning. The burden was lifted, but the memory lingered. Stepping out of the tomb, Lily was bathed in warm sunlight. The forest seemed to sing, a stark contrast to the oppressive gloom she had known. The curse's shadow had finally receded. The following years brought an unprecedented era of peace and prosperity to Lily's family. The inexplicable misfortunes ceased, replaced by good fortune and vibrant health. The generational curse was finally broken. Lily, now a wise elder, shared the tale not as a ghost story, but as a solemn lesson. She spoke of the importance of respect for ancient traditions and the enduring power of karma. The locket, an heirloom passed down through generations, now seemed to glow faintly, a silent reminder of the balance restored. It represented not just a story, but a profound truth. The tomb, once a place of dread, became a site of quiet reverence. Nature reclaimed it, not with thorns and decay, but with vibrant life, honoring the sacred space. The story of the grave robber and the family curse became a testament to justice. It illustrated that every action, good or ill, creates ripples that extend far beyond the moment of their origin. Lily's courage not only saved her family but brought peace to the restless spirit of the ancient guardian. The balance was finally restored, a harmony rediscovered between worlds. She often visited the ancient tomb, not with fear, but with a quiet respect, a deep understanding of the delicate threads that weave fate. The past was healed, but its lessons remained. The family flourished, building a legacy of kindness and integrity, always remembering the heavy price paid for one ancestor's greed. They understood that true wealth lay not in gold, but in peace. And so, the tale of the grave robber and the family curse became a timeless legend, a powerful reminder that the consequences of our actions, both good and bad, echo through eternity.